Lou to host this session, and we will have more discussion about motivation, Yeah? So here is his response to my question, and this is the only one I doubt, and I want to ask back to him. He said, since I have absolutely no talent in backing, that's fine. I think they made a mistake by putting me on the contest list. No way, you have the power. No. The only thing I can do to help me win the title is probably bribing the referees by offering them my signed selfies. Boy, tell me what kind of picture you want to shoot. You must explain. Ladies and gentlemen, table topic, Lou.
Okay, so since I used to study film, so I think like maybe one day I will be very famous, so that my side selfie will worth a lot of money. Yeah.
What kind of picture?
My handsome selfie. It depends the receiver if he or she wants to see me naked or not.
We don't mind.
Okay, so today the theme is motivation, which is set by me, and I remember like earlier Circle says that it is like one of the most cliche topics, so I apologize.
You don't have to.
But we still need to let me to ask you questions. So if you are new to Toastmaster, so this table topic session is me asking question and you answer. So simple, right? So yeah. So the first question is what motivates you to wake up every morning? What motivates you to wake up every morning? And this question goes to Nancy.
Me? Oh my God. What motivates me to wake up every morning? I couldn't wake up every morning. I struggle every morning by waking up. I will put my alert and push it down and put 3 alert and push it away. At the last minute I have to wake up because otherwise I will be late, and I usually be late for And what motivates me wake up usually is what the things I have to do, or I have an arrangement with friends or something. Sometimes I will be very active at the morning, wake up earlier and just with the first alert. That usually because like we arrange hiking or some exciting place to go, or things that will be a very fun activity for me, and I'm really excited or looking forward to it. I think that motivates me easily to wake up. So I don't have to be awake by every alert that I set. Yeah, I usually dream about I can wake up very earlier and make a cup of coffee, have a breakfast, and sitting, watch the sunshine and windows, and have a very enjoyable breakfast, and maybe do some yoga or exercise after, and then have a free mindset and go to work. But usually I go to work very urgent. That dreams haven't appeared for right now. I wish I can get more motivation for it. Thank you.
me, I remember when I was in senior of high school, I used to wake up at 4 to study. But right now, I basically wake up as late as possible, because there's no test and more. So this goes to the next question. So it's so what was your motivation to study hard when you were a student? What was your motivation to study hard when you were a student? This question goes to Charlotte.
That's a really hard question to answer. Okay, I think the last time I've been a student was I studied in the UK. Yeah, and I studied my Master of Law in the UK. So it's in London, United College London. Okay. I'm sorry, can I repeat?
The question was, what was your motivation to study hard when you were a student?
Okay. I think it's not really motivation. It's like the things that I need to survive by myself. Because when the first time I go into the class, we say the Master of Law is LLM, and I feel so frustrated that I don't really understand what the teacher is talking about. Yeah, and then it's like after the class, we have floor class, and after like half year, so I need to prepare the very difficult exam. So it's 3 hours, and every hour I need to write for 100 or 1,000 words for the essay. So at that time, it's like I try to study 3 months, and as hard as I can, just study every day and try to remember anything. Yeah, and then finally I need to finish my dissertation. Yeah, and a very urgent time. So what I think is like, yeah, it's very difficult for me to go into the UK. So, and it's super expensive. Like I spend a lot of money on that. So everything is like, okay, I need to struggle to pass it. So that's what my motivation to do it. And then I believe that I complete my degree. Yeah.
Okay, so since I mentioned that I used to study film, so writing essay used to be my biggest fear too. And so now, since we talk about fear, so next question is, what is your motivation to conquer your fear? What is your motivation to conquer your fear? This question goes to Sherry.
Well, I got lots of fear. 3 years ago, I wasn't there to dine alone. Like I need someone to accompany me to eat dinner or lunch or breakfast every day. I don't dare to eat meals outside, or I will just take out and brought it home and eat it by myself. I don't want others to see me alone. So others will think that this girl doesn't have friends. I don't want others to see me like that. But what motivates me to change that is my husband doesn't want to dine with me always. So I need to learn. I need to learn to be alone. I need to learn how to get along by myself. That motivates me because he leaves me no option. If I have to ask friends, I need to keep asking them to be with me. So I think if I need to keep asking others, they will cause their problems, and my husband will be angry also. And I need to count on myself. That pushed me to kind of learn. So I set up one day. I kind of have a date by myself. Date myself, yes. So I think it's a beautiful day. I like make up myself and dress up and go outside, and I will just observe the sightseeing and the beautiful scenery, and just put attention to others and kind of observe others. That makes kind of interesting, and I will kind of put up attention to myself as well, since I will kind of take care of myself. I will think, what am I going to eat, and if I satisfy myself, I will be happy. And I think that day is very interesting, and that make my day. So after that day, I start to dare just by myself.
Okay, so sometimes we are able to conquer our fear, but other times we are not able to do that. So what if that? So what motivates you to get out from the rock bottom? So this question is, what motivates you to get out from the rock bottom? This question goes to Elaine.
You mean the bottom,
The rock bottom, like
Rock
a
bottom.
really low point.
Okay, I have lots of that kind of. I was an insecure person, but you know that I'm a middle-aged woman. As I get older, I'm more and more aware of who I am, what kind of person I am. I know fear is normal. Being fragile is normal, especially when I was about to step out of my comfort zone and take adventures and widen my horizons. So I try to live with my fear. And at the rock bottom, I know it's the time to bounce back. I used to be driven by fear to study. I had a kind of approval addiction. I wanted others to like me. Now what I'm learning is I try to like myself. I try to feel good about myself. And I have strategies by partnering up with secure people like Toastmasters. I got the energy. And I also get the motivation by being a student again. As a teaching assistant in NTU for a life course, I try to figure out why do I live? How should I live? And what should I do to live the life that I should live? By doing different things, such as being a Toastmaster and being a lifelong learner. And yes, I have fear, but I live with it and try to look at it from a positive perspective. Back to you.
Wow, so we should really learn the positive perspective from Elaine. So the next question is, what motivates you to achieve your next life goal? What motivates you to achieve your next life goals? These questions goes to Angel.
What motivates me to achieve my life goals? I'm not sure, but I just feel something keep pushing me. But I like to say what's the things that push me to do a lot of things within a very short time. I guess that is the awareness of the time is very, very short. Although we are not sure about how long we will live, but at a time when I feel that actually it's very, very short, I will try to achieve everything as soon as possible. I still remember that is when I was very young, in senior high school, I made my first dream board. I would like to tell about that. A dream board that takes all the pictures, all the things I want, and I dream of it, but I didn't realize anything of them when I was a senior high school. Because I spent all my time studying, want to achieve my goals, 100 grade scores, and want to make my parents happy. I didn't achieve any goal on the board. Until my parents get older, although they are not so old. Only when they are 40 to 50s, I find they gradually lost their hope to achieve their goals. And they become not so healthy and waiting for their final days. So then at that time I realized that the time when we are very active is around 20 to 50, probably. So it's only 30 years. We always said that we will live to 80 years, but actually the time you will be very active is only 30 years. And when I find I already used 10 years of them, so many goals to do, so that become my great motivations. I try to divide my goals into several parts, and I will see that I would need to do a lot of things every day in order to achieve them at that time. So when I realize time is very short, your motivations will come. So that's my tips to make me feel very busy every day.
So I see that today we have a lot of guests. So it means that people love to come here to join Toastmasters. So now I wonder what motivates you to join Toastmasters tonight, to come to join Toastmasters tonight. So these questions goes to, oh, is it red? Oh, okay. So do I still have one question? Okay, so it means, okay, so now I should really shut up now. Okay, so back to session master.